uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. And if you're out and about and can't listen to the show live, you can podcast later. But you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad, but you can't watch, if you're not able to watch it until later, by calling 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And to donate or have your comments read out loud, buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. I'm looking at my hand because I forgot to put lotion on them and they're ashy. See how ashy they are?
What the?
White people don't get ashy. White people have good hair, there you go. Thank you. And they have good skin, so they don't get ashy. And their hair don't get nappy. So, sorry about that.
Come on, man.
I don't want to have ashy hands on camera. See that a little better? Thank you. After all, I need my hands to be gentle. Did you enjoy our Friday show yesterday? It was amazing. Blood excellence. If you missed it, you can podcast it. He was talking about man and woman relationship, and he gave some really amazing advice. And it was scripture. What the? Anyway, I'm not going to do the opening until after I come back as far as this Friday kind of thing. I want to go and talk to Juan, a first-time caller out of Florida. Juan, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Juan.
Yeah, Jesse.
You're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You were saying about your ashy hands. You need the natural oils from God.
That's right. I'm gonna have to send Eve to the garden to get some.
I figured I'd call you. I haven't called you before, but I listen to you all the time, and I have my son listening to you. He's 12 years old.
Hey, son.
And he's not here now. Sorry.
Hold on a minute. I'm sorry. Let me take this quick break, and I'll come right to you. Right back to you. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Okay, welcome back. It is Friday. And every Friday is Get It Off Your Chest. All right, let me go back to Juan. First time. By the way, it's Get It Off Your Chest Friday. We're going to do the open in a minute here. 888-7753-773. So Juan, out of first-time Florida caller, and you said you and your son listen to the show, and you have a question.
Yeah, he asked me today. Ask. He said, Dad, what does it mean if two or more pray in my name? And I know that's been said differently because that's not how it's in the Bible. And I didn't really have an answer for him because, I do the silent prayer and I don't do the hooping and hollering anymore. So maybe you have an answer to that.
Where two or more gather his name, he's there. It's like when we have our fellowship on Sundays. And do you know exactly what it says?
Yeah. Actually, I have it up. It says, "Again, I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven."
Oh, I thought you said something about they're gathered together.
No, I know that one too, but no, this was just some people summarize it and say if two or more pray in my name, because in the circles of churches and preachers and pastors, they like to say that and make it short and simple for people to understand.
So he wanted to know.
I never really. Yeah.
So he want to know what it means if two or more together, and they ask in his name.
Ask.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know clearly what they mean, but I do know that when two or more gather and they really want to understand what's going on with themselves and want to return to the Father, that it will happen for them if they're seeking to overcome the fallen state. But I don't know what that means at this point.
Well, is it okay to say you shouldn't ask for anything? Don't worry about asking because you don't know what you want anyway?
How old is he?
12.
Yeah, he's 12. Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Okay. And I appreciate what you guys do. You're right about the silent prayer. I don't know why it's so difficult because I hear a lot of your shows and people call in and say it's so hard and it's really affecting me and it's like dying. And I find it pretty peaceful. And it really does, and this is for the listeners, it really does wake you up and make you see that you really are not your thoughts, and it helps you deal with a lot of situations in everyday life and work, and you can see when the anger comes through people, it helps you better deal with it because you're alert and you're aware and you're observant. So I think that's been very helpful. I appreciate that, and you spreading that message.
Well, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Oh, and one last thing, I will point out that in the past, I used to think women were dumb, but now I know they're just evil.
Amazing. Did you forgive your mother?
Oh, yeah, I forgave her. I forgave her a long time ago, which kind of helped clear things up for me, and then I forgave her again after listening to you saying, go forgive your mother, and I told her, she said, oh, she understood, but I mentioned something about you, and I sent her a link to your YouTube channel, and she listened to you, and I don't like them because of the message about women are evil.
Right.
And it's funny because I said, well, there's some truth to it because your mom was evil. She was pretty evil, and she said, oh, my mother wasn't evil. And I said, well, what you told me that it was pretty evil.
Yeah.
So I think it was interesting that women, even my mother, tend to think that, women can't do any wrong, and we cannot associate any negative memory to what they've done, but from what my mom told me her mom did to her, it was pretty evil.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but I do understand it, that women have been given a disservice by not encouraging them to put the eyes on themselves. And they have been told that everything is the man's fault. And as a result of not encouraging them to look at themselves so they can get better, we have pure hell on earth because it comes through the woman, and we have pure hell on earth. And there are women who are starting to hear the message of forgiveness and how this thing works, and they are starting to overcome. They're starting to wake up. But it's
I'm glad that's happening.
It's just another trick from the devil. He had made it seem that it's the man, that the hell comes through the man. And as a result, because the man is the Son of God, and he doesn't want the Son of God, the devil doesn't, he doesn't want the Son of God to be the light of the world. And so he worked overtime to go after the man, and he's using the women in order to do that.
What a mess.
I know, what a mess. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate your call.
All right. Thanks, Jesse.
All right, buddy.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Amazing. So it's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is whatever's on your mind. Express Yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
These photos recently posted at parenting blogging site mom.me, busting a hot button conversation wide open. Kids on leashes.
It's terribly disobedient. A child has to know and has to respect authority from a teacher or from a parent.
Good parenting or bad behavior.
It has its pros and cons.
He's such a difficult child anyway to handle that I just couldn't take another.
Think of the children.
He gets punished, and that's all there is to it.
I feel guilty because I'm in business and I have my kids and I'm not spending time with them.
You are guilty.
Welcome aboard, folks. We are very proud to share that your pilot is the most diverse pilot on record.
Oh my God, it's on fire. Oh my God. Sorry.
Amazing. I understand it. I do understand it. I do understand it. I know why this is happening. But I think it's so amazing that women can put the men children on a leash like a dog and walk them and snatch them like a dog and don't care what the trauma that they have bring upon the child. They just don't care. They do not care. And that's the hatred of the heart of the woman. Satan is her God, and she's treated the child like a pure animal. And the child will grow up traumatized, and she's going to blame it on the father or on the child. Isn't that amazing? Like an animal. And you heard that one amazing clip by Soundbite Nick opening there. Amazing. The Anchor even put that together. Amazing. It's amazing that because they don't have love, they destroy their children one way or another. And they can't help it, ladies. I know it's not you. It's that thing that made a home of you. Your God, the devil, right? It's not you. But y'all need to wake up, ladies. You're repeating evil generation after generation after generation. And you work overtime to weaken the child. Like that woman was saying, he got to obey. Not realizing she's not obeying. She's traumatizing the kids. Satan is having his way. And you know what the experts are going to do when the kid starts school and or get a teenager? They're going to give them medication for antidepressant, for anxiety, for this or that. They just keep them in the hell. They just keep them in the hell. Last night we had our first monthly women's forum of the year. Everybody and their mama showed up, and I have to tell you, it was deep, deep, deep. The ladies, in all races, the ladies are truly seeking to overcome. And this year we're really working on self all the way through the year, right? And these ladies are committed to working on themselves. We had a visitor from Florida. It was amazing. It was, we ended at 9 a.m. and after that they talked and talked. But it was all worth it. To see the ladies truly dealing with themselves and watching where they went wrong and admitting where they went wrong. Isn't that amazing? It was deep, ladies. Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Stay with it. It was amazing. It was just amazing. And the ladies, you can overcome the hell in you. You're not stuck unless you want to be stuck in your hell. Unless you want to be stuck in it. But you can overcome it. You can overcome it. And you ladies are responsible for you. It's your world. Either you overcome the hell that's in your world or you stay in the hell that's in your world. You can't blame anyone. Yes, your parents caused it to happen by not being perfect examples of real love. But you, as an adult, and the men are responsible for overcoming it, and you can overcome it. There's a way out. It might not be easy, but there's a way out. Yeah, baby, there's no easy way out. I'm going to stand my ground, and I won't back down. You got to get busy this year, ladies, and work on you. There's nothing or no one outside of you that can make you free. Nothing or no one outside of you that can make you free. This is one journey. Even if you're married, this is one journey you must take alone. You can't bring your husband, your boyfriend, your children, your stepchildren. You can't bring your money, your little degrees that give you a false sense of salvation. You can't bring anyone along with you on this one. You got to travel alone. And I know most people are not, or most people are unwilling to stand alone. They always look for a crowd or someone or something to identify with and get a false sense of salvation help. That ain't going to work on this journey. And the ladies are born amazing last night. Right on, right on, right on. Really, it was, because the meetings are not recorded, and what happens in the meeting stays in the meetings. We can't discuss them on the outside there to anyone. I can't really discuss what happened, but it was deep, I can tell you that. And it was, if it wasn't, I wouldn't say so. And they are working on themselves. All of them. All of them. Amazing. Let me go to Mo, a first-time caller out of Florida. Mo, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hello, Jesse. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been a landlord for quite some time, but every time I try to work with African American families, I've always had a challenge. So I'm trying to see like how I can help them or how I can better work with them. It just keeps getting worse over time.
What are they doing?
They just keep trashing my place, and they don't stop paying rent. Then I keep asking for rent, and if I try to evict them, they just like trash the whole place, and which costs me like thousands of dollars to fix it. And the only set of people that I can get in that area is African American. I don't want to call out, but that has been a problem on and on and on.
And why do you keep renting to them?
I mean, that like mostly that is they are the only ones who live in that area.
Oh, so your place is located in a black area where there are black people?
Yeah, but it's a decent area. It's not a bad area. It's a decent area. They tend to be like very, very willing when I talk to them for the first time. And then once they start renting, they slowly like delay on rents, and then they stop paying, and then they just like let it slide all the way to the point that I have to throw them out. It happened like 3 times already.
Why don't you rent to the Mexicans? Are there Mexicans in that area?
I hardly see Mexicans, but my problem is like, I mean, why is it not changing? Why does the mentality of people not changing? Why does it like keep happening?
Because not all, but most blacks don't care. They're so angry and out of control. They feel entitled, and they just don't care. And so as long as you're trying to help them, you're making them worse. So I would suggest that you not rent to the blacks, because you're just going to keep getting the same thing. You're not responsible for them. I understand you want to rent to whomever going to pay and take care of the place, but that's not going to happen with the blacks. So
yeah, I feel sorry, to be honest, for some of the families, but...
You feel sorry?
Yeah, because the next generation, like... I mean, they have to grow in the same environment, and...
But why do you feel sorry? They don't care. Why do you feel sorry for a group of people that don't care about themselves?
I mean, like, it's no fault of the kids, the children, right? They grow in that environment.
But why do you care about somebody else's children that don't even care about their own children? Why do you care? I'm trying to understand that.
I mean, like, as a society, right? Like, I have a decent family. I look out for my friends. I care for the society.
Why?
Right? It's just that we all can be in a decent environment. I mean, I don't want like people...
Life doesn't work like that.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like, to be honest. I guess I have to stop caring. I have no recourse of getting my money back, trying to go back. I mean, they just want to be violent. It's such a painful process that I have to go through every time. And I try to be nice and a good landlord, a good person, but they are just trying to change my mindset.
It's your fault that you keep doing it because you care. And you're caring and keeping you in hell with people that don't care. And you are not responsible for someone else. You're only responsible for you and your wife and children if you're married. Yeah. But you're not responsible for the blacks. I would highly recommend you get over that mentality and emotions because they will end up destroying you.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, it's totally getting on my nerves. I have no criminal record, and I do not intend to have any criminal record on me. But these people are, like, just taking over my mind.
But you're letting it happen, though. Try to be nice. Try to care. And that care is not real love. Because if you truly cared about the blacks, you would let them suffer in their own hell. You would let the adults suffer. You would let the children suffer. It's not your responsibility. It's not your It's not given to you by God to take care of people that don't care about themselves.
I agree, because I've grown up in like caring for the society, but in this case, to be honest, I mean, they don't care about themselves. So
Right.
I guess they probably don't care about anyone else.
Either you're going to be in the world or of it. You got to come out of the world, meaning you have to change your relationship with the outer world and live from within, because human beings are evil. They're angry and they're evil and they only care about themselves. And over the last 70 years, the blacks have been given permission to be out of control so that they can be used for personal gain. And so all they do is make up excuses for their behavior, and that's why they don't get better. It's not your responsibility, Mo. They will destroy you, and you'll have a false thrill of caring, and you're trying to help. It's not your responsibility, man.
I agree.
And caring is not love. Love doesn't have an emotion to it. Real love is dispassionate.
Yeah.
A friend of mine want to know, does he check the credit and police records before you say yes to them?
Yes, I do, but they have not very good, but a decent credit when I check.
Right. Blacks don't have good credit and they don't pay back, and then they complain, oh, we've been redlining. What do you expect people to do?
Yeah.
Can you hold, Mo?
It keeps getting worse. That is the problem.
It's going to get worse, Mo. They don't care.
Yeah.
Can you hold?
Yeah.
Hold on for me. Let me take a break. 2 more hours to go. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour one already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Friday, January 19th. AD 2024. Thanks for bearing with us. Complicated business, folks. Stay tuned for hour two. JLP will be right back to your calls. The lines are full, guys. But first, Hake news, not fake news. The economy's great. Macy's, according to Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, is laying off around 2,000 employees and closing more stores as Americans move away from brick and mortar chains. Consumers are also spending less at gas stations, meaning they're driving less, I think, or they're going to the Teslas or something. They're also not spending much at furniture stores or personal care shops, according to the Commerce Department. And the ballot fight. They're trying to keep our greatest president off the ballots in some states. He's warned, our greatest president has, the Supreme Court of chaos and bedlam. Nice word, bedlam. If states are allowed to bar him from the 2024 ballot. A growing number of states are pushing forward with efforts to exclude our greatest president, the likely presidential nominee for the Republicans, from their ballots, resulting in appeals from Trump's team. The Colorado Supreme Court, so-called, last month said Trump is constitutionally ineligible to run in 2024 because of the 14th Amendment ban on insurrectionists holding office. Covers his conduct on January 6, 2021 AD. The United States Supreme Court earlier this month was to hear the case, accepting an appeal, agreed to hear the case, accepting an appeal brought by Trump. Meanwhile, the Oregon State Supreme Court dismissed a similar case last week, and election officials in Washington State confirmed Thursday that Trump's name will remain on the GOP primary ballot after a state judge dismissed a lawsuit that tried to disqualify him. Nice. And shut down the government, please. I doubt it'll happen, but one can wish. Congress passed a short-term funding extension Thursday, averting a partial government shutdown after lawmakers raced the clock ahead of a key deadline today. The bill will now be sent to crooked Joe Biden to be signed into law. He's the so-called president. However, major challenges still lay ahead as lawmakers must now attempt to pass a series of full-year spending bills before March. Deadlines coming soon. Senate negotiators been working to strike a deal on border security. What a laugh. No such thing. That could unlock passage of aid to Israel and Ukraine. Due to the current gridlock in Washington, D.C., Pentagon officials have not held a single meeting since last month to decide what to send to Ukraine from the Defense Department's weapons stockpiles, because there is no money left to fund the aid packages. Nice. And the Uvalde grandstanding, the feds involved in that, meddling in everything. The Justice Department released a damning report, says Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, yesterday, that said the 2022 school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, mostly Hispanic town, could have been stopped sooner had it not been for critical failures in leadership among specific law enforcement officers. It took 77 minutes from when the 18-year-old shooter gun male walked into Robb Elementary School, 2 B's in Robb, until he was stopped. The massacre left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. The DOJ evil organization their report paints a picture of confusion and cowardice among the officers who ran toward the sound of gunfire, then almost immediately stopped once they approached the classrooms where the gun male, not a man, was located. The report said that the officers' decisions ran counter to widely established active shooter response protocol, which instructs law enforcement to move toward and eliminate any threat. And salmonella poisoning. 22 states have reported cases of salmonella infections this month, recalled to charcuterie meats, whatever that is. So the scared women-led CDC is pushing, stuff about Sam's Club and Costco. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. I don't know what happened in the first hour. I don't even think it happened. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. my biblical question. Why are you afraid of negotiating? Why are you afraid of negotiating? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com. JesseLeePeterson.com. And if you're out and about anywhere in the world, because we are heard around the world by everybody and their mama, and for the flat earther up and down the world, we are heard Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So if you busy and you can't sit and watch the show, you can podcast, but you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And follow us on cozy.tv/JLP. Cozy.tv/JLP and JLP Talk on X. JLP Talk on X. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP or rebuildingtheman.com. It's Friday, and most of you know every Friday is Get It Off Your Chest Friday. Every Friday is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a great alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
These photos recently posted at parenting blogging site mom.me, busting a hot button conversation.
That's
wide
evil.
open, kids on leashes.
He's terribly disobedient. A child has to know and has to respect authority from a teacher or from a parent.
Good
That's
parenting or bad behavior.
It has its pros and cons. He's such a difficult child anyway to handle. But
A difficult mother, not the child.
Think of the children.
He gets punished.
What
and that's all
about
there
the
is to it.
I
children?
feel guilty because I'm in business.
You
and
are
I have
guilty.
my kids, and I'm not spending time with them.
Welcome aboard, folks. We are very proud to share that your pilot is the most diverse pilot on record.
Oh my god, it's on fire. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
What a mess. What a mess. Mo from Florida is gone for whatever. I don't know if he dropped or what happened, but Mo, you can call me back. I've got a lot of responses. Mo lives in Florida. He's been renting his places to the blacks. And according to Mo, and I know what he means, when he rent to the blacks, they destroy the place. And then they don't pay the bill. They don't pay their rent. And Mo want to know how to deal with the blacks, knowing that they're doing that. And he's like, I feel sorry for him. No, you shouldn't, buddy. That's why you're in the hell that you're in. So somebody told me, so Mo, if you can call back, call back. Someone told me to ask Mo if he tell the blacks what they're doing and try to warn them about it. And then I got a text from a friend of mine. He says, Mo, he didn't say Mo, but he need the professional renter company to get the right people in and collect the rent for him. He should never deal with the renters. He should never deal with the renter. A professional rental company to rent his property. Let's see here. To rent his property, he should never deal with the renter. They smell weakness and take advantage of him. That is such a good point. That is such a good point. That is such a good suggestion, Mo. You got to get professional renters to take care of all that property manager stuff for you. Property manager stuff for you. Because you're dealing with people that just don't care. Look how they treat their families, themselves, their children, their own neighborhood. So get some professional renters to handle that for you. All right? What a mess. And someone wanted to know, do you talk to them or tell them what they're doing or something? Let me do this before I go back to the phones. Remember a while back, last year, there had the airline industry had started to get rid of the white experienced men in air traffic controllers and working for the airline, and they were putting in black people and women who were not qualified. And I said, you know what? This is a horrible mistake. You're going to hear, because these people are not qualified, they're affirmative action reparation kind of a people, right? And the white man is continuing to try to prove that they're not a racist. And the more you try to prove it, the more hell you bring out of the blacks and the women. And so they did it anyway. They didn't listen. They got rid of the white men who had experience and knew what they were doing and made things work. And they brought in the blacks, affirmative action blacks, that were not qualified. And they're doing this in every area of life now. And I said, it's not going to work. And I remember there was a caller, I think his name was Joe out of Arizona. I may be wrong about that part. And he was like, no, Jesse, that's not true. These people are qualified. And I said, you're going to see, you're going to hear, you're going to have more crashes and near missing, and it ain't going to work. These people are not qualified. And America should not be hiring them based on color or female or whatever. No, Jesse, the blacks are not, they are qualified. No, they're not. And now we're hearing more and more and more negative incidents with airplanes and things like that. Body parts are falling off the planes, meaning the door and stuff like that, because they're not putting the screws in all the way or leaving some screws out. Can't you hear the black? I don't feel like putting there's too many screws to put into the door. I ain't got time for that. And some white person on the sideline said, well, you know, ma'am or sir, it's not for safety. I mean, it's for safety that you put them all in. I don't care about no safety. What that have to do with me? It's like going to the post office and you want to ask the worker one more question. And they already looking like they're mad. And if you're weak, you're scared to ask the second question. Sometimes I go to the post office and I see white people at the window and other races too. And they're so timid and intimidated by the blacks because the blacks look so angry. And they try so hard to be so nice to the blacks worker. The black workers don't crack. No smile, no nothing, just snappy, nasty attitude. That's happening at the airports now, in the airline industry. So it begins. And y'all, I'm warning you, just like I told you my country will become South Africa, if you continue down this road, you're going to hear more and more you're going to hear real serious crashes in America from the Skyway. You put all the wrong people in that are not qualified based on color because you're afraid to say no. You put everybody's lives at risk. Reuters is reporting. And Atlas Airborne 747-8 cargo plane with 5 crew members made an emergency landing at Miami International Airport late Thursday after an engine malfunction shortly after departure. Watch this from X.
Oh my God, it's on fire. Oh my God. I'm sorry. It's on fire. Mom. Holy shit. I hope they're okay. I wonder if they're doing an emergency. Oh. No, it's still doing it. It's still doing it.
That's in America. You're going to see more and more of that. You can bank on it. Unless they put back the qualified people and take out the non-qualified people. That was yesterday, according to the report. New York Post is reporting an American airline plane landed nearly an hour behind schedule as slid off the runway and into the grass shortly after landing in snowy weather Thursday at New York's Rochester International Airport. I rest my case. I was on the plane the other day. I looked up. I sat in my seat. I looked up, and I saw a black female pilot. Looked like she's from Africa. So she like had African black, right? Not American black. And I'm like, I'm looking. I wanted to be sure I'm looking around. I said, oh, that's a female black woman on that in that pilot thing. I'm like, what the? And so the flight attendant was walking by, and I said, hey, is a black female driving this plane today? And she like, yes. And she started smiling. I'm like, what the? Is she affirmative action? And she laughed and she kind of walked away. And then she told the black, they got flight stewardess, the black male stewardess. And he came back and he like, oh, I hear that you want to know if a black female will fly in the plane. I'm like, yeah, is it? He like, yeah. He like, what's wrong with that? I'm like, man, you know women can't fly no plane. They can hardly drive. And he kind of smiled and walked away and came back with a little card saying whatever. He was like, here, she sent this to you, referring to the black female so-called pilot. I was like, what is this? And it just described what Delta Airlines is about. I was like, oh, okay. And then we flew, went on to our destination. And when I was getting off the plane, she was standing in the doorway of the cockpit thing. And so the flight attendants had all gathered around me and the people were trying to get off. And they were like, oh, she want to meet you. I was like, oh, okay. And so I went and we shook hands. And so I said, you a pilot? And then she like, yeah. I said, are you a foreigner? She sounded like a foreigner. I was like, what the? And she said, yeah, so, well, no, she didn't say if she was a foreigner or not. But I asked her, are you affirmative action, one of those diversity mess they're doing? And she started laughing. And I'm like, all right, nice to meet you. And I had to go because so many people were trying to get off the plane. But what a mess! I felt like doing what the Christians do. When they pray to God, I felt like saying out loud, oh, Lord, help me get to my destination. But I was concerned that Satan may answer my prayer. So I said, he can't believe I stayed on the plane. I took the risk. I had an engagement I had to make. But what a mess. So you heard what happened according to the New York Post, an American airline. And then yesterday, according to Reuters, emergency landing. What do you think this is leading up to? What do you think? I understand it. I do understand it, the fear and all that. But it's amazing that the white people who found it and created the greatest country in the world, and made all this possible with the help of God, is just handing it over to the blacks because they don't want to appear racist. And the more, over the years, it's just gotten worse. Each year it gets worse. And the more they do it, the worse the blacks get. I don't understand. I do understand it. I do understand it's fear. I saw on Tucker Carlson yesterday where a black and a Mexican woman, a black woman and a Mexican woman, some type of program they hold, and they invite these white women, or white women pay. It sounds like they pay to go there to this meeting place where they meet together, and they create this black female and this Mexican female, whatever she is. I don't know what she is. She's not white. They crucify the white women, and then in the end they talk about them like a dog, and then they say, "How many of you here are racist?" And the white women raise their hands. And I think Tucker's not Tucker, but Jesse Waters, not Tucker, but Jesse Waters on Fox News. They raised their hand and said they were racist, and there was one woman that. This white woman, I can't raise my hand and say that, and they crucify her later. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with the whites? They pay money to go sit in some room with some evil women that make them say that they're racist. Oh, thank you, Sean. It's according to The Cut. Race to Dinner, a reality TV show, gathered groups of white women at the homes of a host to facilitate a discussion about race over dinner. And you should see how they treated those women. White women. White ladies, white females, don't put yourself in front of these females. They're already evil. Satan is their God. How do you think they're going to treat you knowing that they can get a thrill out of making you feel bad? A thrill out of degrading you and making you admit to something that doesn't even exist, like racism. Why would your husband let you do that? Why would you do that? That doesn't even make logical sense. Even if supposedly racism existed, you gonna let somebody evil worse than you tell you to come to dinner so I can degrade you. And I was looking at those two, that black woman and whatever else color that other woman's supposed to be. They were getting a thrill out of doing it to those white women. It's called The Cut. Race to Dinner, a reality show, gathers group of white women at the home of a host to facilitate a discussion about race over dinner. Why don't you reverse it? Get a group of black women and ask them why they're so nasty. Why they hate white women and white people. And see what happens. When will this one-sided discussion about so-called racism end? Fear is an illusion. Anger is not you. When will you wake up? Our planes are going to start falling out of the skies even more so. Near misses are going to happen until don't miss no more. And white people, they're already going out into the suburbs and all that, robbing, raping. Oh, that reminds me. Robbing, raping, and stealing, carjacking in your neighborhoods. just like they're doing in South Africa. I was counseling with someone, talking to someone yesterday, and they're white, and he lives in a predominantly black area somewhere. And during the counseling session, he mentioned that, when I first heard you ask on your show, what's wrong with the blacks? And I'm like, oh, Jesse shouldn't say that. But then he reflected and he realized that is true. What's wrong with them? He said that he and his family, his wife and kids, moved into this predominantly black area. And this is in the South somewhere. And he said that all the violent crime that has happened to them was done by the blacks. By the blacks. Their home have been broken into. He had guns drawn on him, been robbed. His wife would, at times, was driving home from wherever she was coming from, and some blacks tried to, with their car, tried to make his wife drive off the road so that they could rob her. And he's been shot at, and he said it's all been done by the blacks. That's going to get worse, too. You're catering to evil. And he made a very good point. He said that these are mostly young blacks, millennials and Zs. And he said that he noticed that the older generation blacks are kinder. They seem to care more. They take care of themselves. They don't have the same attitude that the younger blacks have today. And that's because when the older blacks were growing up, they didn't hate white people. They didn't blame white people. They had families. They worked. They were not jealous. They were not jealous of the white people. So the older generation didn't blame white people. They were not jealous of the white people. They didn't do all this mess that's happening now. And supposedly they came from slavery and affirmative act, Jim Crow. How come the blacks were better then than they are today? Black people and white people were told to love one another, love your neighbor as yourself, and they did. All that gone now. So white people, you keep giving up your country to unqualified people. You're going to see. You think this is bad? Wait until your family start falling out of the sky. Or when you're driving down the highway, no police around, and they're running you off the road to rob you and possibly take your car or whatever. It's going to get worse. Our battle is a spiritual battle. And no one has demanded that the blacks take care of themselves, overcome anger, become individuals again, and stop begging and whining and blaming and wanting to be catered to. It's not good what's happening. You heard Mo from Florida say that every time you rent a place to the blacks, they destroy it. They don't pay the rent. They destroy the place. What are you thinking? It has nothing to do with slavery at all. None of these blacks have never seen slavery. They have no idea about it. They've been lied to about slavery, though. Anyway, what a mess. To Mo again, a friend of mine said he need the professional renter company to get the right people in and collect the rent for him. He should never deal with the renters. They smell weakness and take advantage of him. And the blacks are smelling the weakness of the whites, the white men and the white women. The white men and the white women. I had no idea white people could be this weak. Growing up, I thought white people were strong. They stood up for America. They celebrated the 4th of July. They even went to the moon. They went to the moon. Now they're trying to go back. Guess who they have on board? A black woman, a black man, I think I saw another woman. You think they're going to ever make it back to the moon? They have all the wrong people in the right places to make sure that my country never, ever, ever returns again. It's over. You're going to have hell on earth. But you can overcome the hell on earth and still live on earth. But you got to live from within. You got to overcome anger. You got to enter the kingdom within and live from within. And your world will be fine. Mike, a first-time caller out of Massachusetts. Mike, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Mike. Mike is gone. Tony from a first-time caller from Massachusetts. Tony, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
All is well, Tony.
Jesse, I just want to tell you, this is my first time calling you. Everything you say is so true about us as Africans.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, I'm American. I'm American. I'm just got caught up in that.
Right on.
And you changed my life, man. I've been down the road with divorce. Wife tried to be a beta male, and I couldn't do that, Jesse. And it just made me, coming across you, made me realize what men are going through today.
Yeah.
And I'm a truck driver. I've been doing it for 25 years. And every time I get a ride back to my car to pick up my car from storage, these guys are telling me they're getting divorced. And it's so pathetic. And like you said, a lot of men is now beaming light for other men because they became weak where they're afraid to lose what they got at home. When you become a man, you don't care what you lose because God will give you everything in return.
Absolutely.
I lost my home.
Absolutely.
And Jesse, you know how you say about the children?
Yes.
Yeah, my ex-wife has made, a couple of months ago, you had a guy, you was doing your service, and the guy was saying, my son won't text me. And that right there changed me when you said, once the woman put the kids out the house, they're damaged. I haven't seen my kids in 2 months because you're right. And I just want to say thank you, man. And I'm going to go apologize to my mom. I'm having a hard time with that. My father passed a year ago. And
Tony, let me take a quick break. Can you hold?
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me take a quick break. I'll be right back in a moment. Thank you. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Okay, folks, welcome back. The Hake, H-A-K-E report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning from 9 to 11. And James Hake is on fire. H-A-K-E. Make sure you listen. He's on fire. He white. And then after him, at 12 noon, a brand new episode of the fallenstate.com. .tv, thefallenstate.tv, not .com, .tv. Amazing discussion with my friend Larry Elder. And I say my friend because I've been knowing him for a long time. He's been a great asset to my nonprofit barn, and he really loved what we were doing. And I had him on the Fallen State the other day. He ran for governor. He ran for president. He's from South Central Los Angeles, and he black. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
The sage of South Central Los Angeles, Larry Elder.
The LA Times called me the black face of white supremacy.
I was going to ask you that.
I worked hard for that title.
Yeah.
I've been called an Uncle Tom, bootlicking Uncle Tom, foot shuffling, bootlicking Uncle Tom. The thing I've rarely been called is wrong.
And so a lot of guys don't know how to deal with women today.
I'm not sure you're asking the right guy, because I've never had a problem.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem.
Hey.
No matter what your circumstances are, pick up your cards and you deal them to the best of your ability. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Amazing. Larry also was one of the producers of the Uncle Tom 1 and 2, and I was in both of the documentaries, Uncle Tom. So check out Uncle Tom, all right? And support us at the Fallen State there, fallenstate.tv, or on locals.com. Locals.com as well. At 4 p.m. today, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby is on fire. Energy, natural energy on loan from God. So I'm looking at this picture of the Anchor Baby advertisement there, promotion. And the earth looked flat to me. I mean, round to me, not flat. Doesn't it look round?
I mean, I don't know.
Does it look flat or round? Look at the sun going around the earth.
You first said flat, so maybe that's...
That was an accident.
No, that might have been...
No, that was a black accident.
What you really saw.
No, that looked round to me. But anyway... The American Anchor Baby. And then Sunday at 11 a.m., fellowship for everybody and their mama. Doors open at 10:30. The meetings start at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Come on down. And if you're not in the LA area and you can't make it, even if you're in the LA area, you can watch it live at rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. I want to go back to Tony, a first-time caller out of Massachusetts, and Tony understands, and he black, and he was telling us about the situation with his ex-wife now, his children, and what a mess. Tony, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Yes, Jesse. So when you go to the court system, I mean, when you said the woman the devil, this woman turned around and said, he's on steroids. He's trying to kill my children.
Wow.
Now, Jesse, remember how you talking about the court system?
Yes.
Now, it was a male judge, a male. Now, all the DAs are females because God gave us eyes to see, and a lot of people don't look around. All the females are DAs.
Yeah.
They're asked to recess. She's a paralegal. Her lawyer was a female, right? And they changed the judge to all female. Now, here's a guy that's been driving trucks at the time, 18 years, never been to prison. You right about the blacks. They always stealing and doing that. They put me to jail to be evaluated by a psychiatrist because I am losing my mind.
Wow.
So I found myself. And then what they did, they brought me to jail. And all they did, they made me stronger. They didn't make me weak. They made me stronger because when you're an alpha male, they try to put you to jail to break you.
Yes.
They turn around, they put me in a psych ward to be evaluated for the third time. And as of today, and Jesse, I just want to tell you, I love you, man. You're a great dude, man. And these brothers need to wake up. And I love white people because as I was 14 years old, my father put me to work. It was white people that gave me the opportunity. The white people gave me the job I have. I've been flatbedding for 15 years. My company take care of me. I live in my truck, Jesse. I live in my truck. The freedom, man.
Right on.
Bet I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV, Jesse. I'm not programmed like all these guys are. They're beta males. All of them. I put beta males Jesse, put trespassing on me as stores because I talk strong.
Amazing.
And I come across you, I'm like, Jesse's amazing. Because you're right, Jesse. In the black guys, I always had everything. They stole my car, your own friends. Because I had a Mustang at 20 years old because I decided to go to work instead of going to school. They all went to school and got manipulated, like you said. They got manipulated by the system.
Yeah.
So now you hating on me because I went and did it the right way with our hands, like you said. When God brought us out, guess what happened? You got everything. My daughters, I see my kids. My kids got no energy now.
Amazing.
It's amazing what they're doing to us. And like you said, we're the chosen one. They hate that.
Yeah.
But I'm living in Boston, and the females in Boston are 10 times worse. They walk around here with their yoga pants. Some of them got no panties on because if you pay attention, you see it. And Jesse, I want to go. Jesse, I wish I met you a year ago because when my father had stomach cancer because he used to drink, he was reaching out to me, but I was the one being angry, not wanting to see him, and I think I would have got everything out of him. I didn't. And I wish I met you a year ago. That's my story, Jesse. I just want to say thank you. I listen to you every day, man. And I'm going to do the silent prayer, Jesse. I'm on my way on it. I'm like you said, you're going to be scared in your pants to go talk to your mother because my mother was like a witch. I called her a witch. And Jesse, and I've always been on my own. Everything I did, Jesse, was on my own. Yeah. My father, mother wasn't there. My father gave me go to work. He went because I almost joined the gang. And my father was like, since you think you're a grown man, I'm going to put you work. Jesse, 14 years old, at $3.45, I had everything. You are right, Jesse. You right. These guys need to open their eyes and realize women, I tell guys, you're afraid to lose your P-U-S-S-Y at home. That's why they say happy life, happy wife. They're afraid, Jesse.
Yeah.
And I do it all the time when I walk in the store. Hey, guy, let me ask you a question. You believe in happy life at wife? Jesse, guess what they said? Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I said, I'm a man that look good. My name is TLG. Tony looking good. And they asked me who told me that. God told me to tell you that.
When they say happy life, happy wife, what they're telling you that they're weak and their wives are controlling them.
Yes. Yes. My wife threw me out the house because I didn't believe that.
Yeah.
Jesse, you know how I'm a man with no record. Down the courthouse, order me. Let me tell you how crazy it is when an officer comes to your house, take all your keys, and you can't come back to that home. And you know what the government do like you, right? Jesse, she fixed the entire home.
Amazing.
Now she wants me to sign the house over, and I'm not doing it.
Good. That's right. Don't do it.
I hung up on her, so I don't want them to say to you, and I thank you when you said it's better for you to leave the kids alone because they're going to find you because we are the teachers.
Yeah.
And I taught my kids right.
Well,
that's all I want to say, Jesse.
Stay with it. Stay with it. Forgive your mother. Do the silent prayer.
I will, Jesse.
All right, man.
Yep.
I wish you well. Call me again, buddy.
I'll call you again, Jesse.
All right.
I definitely will.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye. Amazing. Amazing. I'm telling you, it's a spiritual battle. The hell come through the woman. Not through the man, but through the woman. I don't know if you mean to talk about that.
I think he means like that call was get it off your chest.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I counsel with men and women and families, individuals every day. And it's the same story. It doesn't matter the color of the person. It's the same story. And the men are weak because their mothers have recreated them in her image when they were little and did not have the father to protect them. They're not weak because they want to be weak. They are weak because their nature has been changed. They have the mindset, the thinking, the emotions of their mother. That's why God said you must be born again of the Father. Return to the... It ain't nothing that's going to work until you get a new nature. And this is for men and women because the women are just repeating what their mothers have done because they have they're recreated in the image of their mother, and it's hell. Ladies, you're not yourself until you overcome your mother and return to your father. Let me go to Frankie out of Washington State. Frankie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Frankie.
I was calling because last year in August, I ended up getting married, and I hadn't listened to your show, and I have always been seeking, the truth and been seeking God for a few years. So I had been an atheist in the past, and then in 2019, I came back to searching for God. And so I started going to church and all that. And then I met a Christian woman, and after about a year and a half, she's like, "Oh, where's this relationship going?" And it's like, well, and I had been in a long-term relationship. I never got married. And I was like, man, we got a lot of time. Let's just take it easy, But after 2.5 years, I ended up proposing. So we ended up getting married after 3.5 years, which was last August. And then in October, I found your show and I found you. And I started doing what you were saying, I started doing silent prayer. I forgave my dad and my mom, and I was realizing, and God just opened my eyes to what you said, and everything you said was, I felt like, wow, this is totally true, I could feel it in my spirit, this is the real truth. And I got my wife on board, she kind of listened a little bit, but she was she had listened to the Hell Comes to the Woman, and she didn't like that part. But she was doing the silent prayer. She was kind of doing the silent prayer. I remember one time I had told her, okay, we're going to do the silent prayers in the morning. And after about 15 minutes, she just jumped out of the bed. And she's jumped out of the bed. And then I'm like, wait, why'd you jump out of the bed? We're not done. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm done. I go, how do you know you're done? She's like, well, my thoughts or something, and I had her pry to get her to say that her thoughts told her she was done. And I was like, see, that's the devil right there. And she wasn't really having it. She thought it was herself. But it was funny. I seen it plain and clearly that the devil just told her you're done, and she jumped out of the bed all crazy, and I was like, what the? So anyways, in December, I kind of stopped fighting with her, I stopped fighting with her and just let her fight with herself, and that made things worse. And long story short, she had gone to Christian counselors because she's like, there's something, our marriage is bad, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we need to return to God, And I'm like, she's been a Christian since she was 5 years old. So I'm like, oh, yeah. And I was thinking, I got a good Christian woman, we're going to be married forever. And then she said, no, we got problems. And I'm like, we need to take this with God. We need to follow God. God can fix all of our problems, And I'm thinking, why is her faith? I feel like her faith was not there. What's Like, what's going on here? What about this, God, trusting in God? And I kind of brought that up. She didn't like that. And these Christians, like this group of Christians, she was like trying to talk to pastors. She's trying to talk to everybody and their Christian mama. So she found this group of Christians, and so they told her, because I was an atheist for a while, and they told her, yeah, Frankie's just like a baby Christian. So they told her, like, they gave her an example with hand gestures. So if you put your hand to, like, your chest, they said, so if you do that with me, Jesse, everybody can see. They said, Frankie's right here. He's a baby Christian. You put it to your chest, and you put the other hand above your head. And it said, you're up here. So just be patient, So Frankie's down here, and you're up here in God's wisdom. And at the moment, I didn't understand what the heck that was, but I'm thinking, I feel like I have more faith in God because she's like running around in her mind, and I'm trusting in God. So I have a question. What is wrong with the Christians?
The Christians, they don't know God. They know about him. And knowing about him is not knowing God. They're stuck in their intellect because they've been reading the Bible. They got all these things that they say. They have these act out things that they do. And they don't know that they're worshiping the devil and because they cannot see. So that's what's wrong with them. And that's why your wife is losing her way, because she's listening to a group of people who are worshiping the devil in the name of Jesus.
That's crazy because they seem like, and they talk about the fruit of the Spirit, and they seem like happy and joyous. And I like stared at their eyes, and I'm like, they seem to be joyous and like have love, but I never asked them. I'm like, if I see this group again, I'm going to ask them directly if they have any anger and see what their stance is on anger. Because
it's because of time. So how are things with you and your wife right now?
Well, she moved out at the beginning of the year.
Oh, she did move out.
Yeah, she moved out, and I feel like I have peace, and she's out. She blocked me and everything. I'm like, what the? I'm like, we have to communicate, but she's out. We don't have no kids together or anything.
Oh, good.
Family.
So you have no kids with her?
Praise the Lord.
And so how do you feel that she's gone now?
I feel like hell left.
Oh, good. Right on.
I was observing what I was feeling at first, and the devil was telling me, you need to become a slut maker again.
Nope.
Just be with women. And I'm like, what the? And I was just observing it, and the devil was telling me all this, and I was just observing it through the silent prayer. And after about 3 or 4 days, it lifted. It was gone.
Nice. Well, stay with it and let her stay wherever she's. Leave her out there doing whatever she's doing, and you stay with the prayer. You stay present, and you're gonna see, man, your life it's gonna blow your mind how amazing your life will become, and it will work on its own. The more you let go, life will happen without your help. So stay with her. Amazing call. I'm glad you don't have any children with her.
I know. She like tied her tubes, and so praise the Lord, I have no kids. So one other thing is I have a 21-year-old because I fell like into alcohol.
Right.
But now I don't have any of those problems. I'm alcohol-free for 6 years. So my oldest son, he's 21, and I could see now that how his mom turned him against me.
Yeah.
And I just kind of let him be, and I kind of told him, I kind of sent him one of your YouTubes, and I don't know if he's seen it or not, but just like 2 days ago, he texted me apologizing, and I apologized to him. I told him, well, I apologize for not being the best dad and not protecting him from his mother, because we had split up like 6 years ago.
Right.
Just out of the blue, and I was like, dang, he's 21, and he kind of really hasn't been talking to me for years, since he was like 15. He kind of didn't talk to me. But it's true, he's realizing that he needs to do the forgiveness thing,
Right. Absolutely. So, that's an amazing story. That's amazing. Well, as long as you work on you, your nature is changing from evil to good, and all things are possible. You can get your son back. He can change because the father is changing. So right on.
Yeah.
Amazing call.
Hell's gone.
Well, leave hell out there. Do not bring hell back into your life.
Oh my gosh, she turned to a big old, a living devil. She's a bitch. Did I say that? What?
What the? That's right. Amazing.
That's crazy.
Thank you, Frankie. All right, call me again, buddy.
Right.
Amazing. I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with the race. It has nothing to do with the color. It has nothing to do with the money, lack of, or how much money you have or don't have. It has nothing to do with where you live. It's in the spirit. You're either of evil or of good. There's no gray area. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news. One more hour to go, and I come back straight to the calls and your super chats. Hake is coming in with the hate news, and watch, he has good hair. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. Freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought, because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is the 19th of January, AD 2020. 2023, 4. Stay tuned for hour 3. Last hour of Express Yourself Friday is coming right up. The lines are full, guys. JLP will get right back to you. But first, it is Hake news, not fake news. The far-left female-run outlet The Skim say that tensions between Pakistan and Iran are on the rise. Both countries have long fought along their shared border, each accusing the other of housing separatist and militant groups. Now tensions have reached unprecedented levels, according to the ladies at The Skim, who, you got to take it with a grain of salt coming from them, amid tit-for-tat attacks. Earlier this week, Iran carried out strikes in Pakistan's Baluchistan province, killing 2 children, according to Pakistani authorities. Iran said that they targeted Jaish al-Adl, a Sunni separatist militant group that killed 11 officers last month in Iran. Days later, Pakistan launched their own strikes targeting the Baluchistan Liberation Front, BLF, a separatist group in Iran. At least 7 people died. Since the start of the Israel-Hamas war, Iran has been using their proxy groups, Houthis, Hezbollah, and in other countries. Some experts say that Iran could be using the instability in the Middle East as an opportunity to target their enemies. Others say Iran is trying to show their strength of their military power. Nice. Others say, especially after ISIS attack. An ISIS attack killed nearly 100 Iranians earlier this month. Wow, that's terrible. It's not clear if these back-to-back strikes could pull Pakistan into the Middle East's conflicts. Pakistan said that they were targeting a terrorist threat and not Iran. Tehran, which is the capital of Iran, condemned Pakistan's attacks, but also reportedly said that they don't want to allow enemies to strain the amicable and brotherly relations of Tehran and Islamabad. Meanwhile, the United States said that there is no need for escalation. No need for it. So, relax. The Pakistan strikes marked the first time Iran has experienced a land attack since the end of the Iran-Iraq war more than 30 years ago. Wow. It has many on edge amid concerns that tensions could spill over into the Middle East. And meanwhile, there's Israel-Palestine Peanut Gallery, the war drama, the Peanut Gallery. Yesterday, Mexico and Chile referred that Israel-Hamas war to the ICC, International Criminal Court, for evaluation of possible war crimes by Israel and Hamas due to growing worry over the latest escalation of violence. Gaza has been under a week-long communications blockout, faces a looming threat of famine, according to the ladies at the Skim. One visiting United Nations, one official from there described the territory as the most dangerous place in the world to be a child, other than a black womb, right? Give me a break. An estimated 50,000 pregnant women are struggling due to lack of access to proper medical care. Access, communist buzzword, with reports of some babies dying in childbirth. Terrible. The death toll for Palestinians in Gaza has grown to 24,000 people, at least half of whom women and children. 85% of Gaza's population, 1.9 million people about, has been displaced. Meanwhile, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected calls for a two-state solution yesterday amid pressure from the evil United States to move toward a path for a Palestinian state. Prime Minister's comments were amid mounting tensions with the evil Biden administration. Whose side are you on that? Or maybe no sides. The Prime Minister's comments were like that. The news comes as Israelis mark the one-year birthday of Kfir Bibas, who's a baby hostage. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP.
To stand up strong, think the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. Can you believe that? What the? You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. Why are you afraid of negotiating? Why are you afraid of negotiating? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And don't forget, on social media, follow, like, ring the bell, and blah, blah, blah. We're on Rumble. You got to know how to rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and cozy.tv/JLP, where Christ is King. Cozy.tv/JLP. And to donate, and we are going to get to your super chats, folks. To donate and have your super chats read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And or rebuildingtheman.com. Rebuildingtheman.com. Or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. It is the third hour, the last hour of the show today. It is.
And I have my kids, and I'm not spending time with them.
Welcome aboard, folks. We are very proud to share that your pilot is the most diverse pilot on record.
Oh my God, it's on fire. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Amazing. What a mess. What a mess. One quick thing I want to tell you about the blacks and the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is naturally using the blacks for their own personal gain, and they've been doing it for years now. And I was reflecting the other day, and yes, the Democratic Party is doing what it's doing to the blacks. Not all, but most of the blacks. But I can't blame the Democratic Party, because each individual, adult individual, is responsible for themselves. And you can't blame anyone else for your own life. And the blacks are allowing the Democratic Party to use them. And they want to be used in that way to destroy America. And all the Democrats have to do is go into their black churches and say, I feel no ways toward. I feel like going on. Hillary Clinton. And then the black stars saying, I feel like going on. I feel like going on. Though trials come from every side, I feel like going on. Feel like going on. I feel no ways tired. There's a woman down in Georgia, a DA, that's going after the great white hope, Donald Trump. And according to the report, she had her boyfriend, who had no experience, and paid him a lot of money. And now it's out that she's done that. She up in the black church and talking about the Lord. And the black people amen it. It's not the Democratic fault that they have been successful in keeping the blacks on the plantation of the Democratic Party for nearly, if not 70 years. You can't blame them. The blacks want to be used. Anyone that doesn't take control of his or her own life, they want to be used. Adults. And so whenever they want the blacks to come out and vote, because they don't care anything about them, it's about themselves. There's no love in this world. There's no love. A friend says, stop! There's no love in this world. Nobody loves nobody. You can't love if you have anger. Anger is about you. Stop singing, man. What now? Don't be jealous. Love, anyone that has anger is about themselves. It's about themselves. It's never about anyone else but self. Take a look at yourself when you pretend that you care for somebody and see how much it is about you and nothing. You're just acting. Democratic Party, the black so-called leadership, and their mothers don't care about their children. They care about themselves. And so whenever they want to get the blacks to go out and vote for the Democrats, they know all the right words to say that would put the blacks in a hypnotic trance, and they put them on a little short yellow bus and take them to the poll. And they press the D, Democrats. And they don't care that they're being played. Here's an example of that. CBS. Joe Biden told a crowd that Republican nominee Mitt Romney want to put you all back in chain. Watch this from ABC.
He's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who is being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered. Multiple. You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
See that? They know exactly what to say to the blacks. They know what to say. And they put them in a trance. Racism, blame it on the great white hope, Donald Trump. They know exactly what to say to the blacks. And that's all they do. You're not required to work, blacks. You're not required to be good at what you do. We're going to get rid of the white man and give it to you. In the white schools and everywhere. See how Joe Biden said, if you don't understand, you ain't vote for me, something. You ain't black enough. Joe Biden also raised eyebrows during a speech in Iowa. Watch this from the New York Post. This is from the Times.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
What a mess. All the right words to put the blacks in unconscious state and put them back in chains. The New York Post is reporting Joe Biden has said he attended a civil rights organization sessions. Yet congregants and longtime assistant to the pastor at the time have said they don't recall that. They're like, what the? Watch this from X.
When I marched in the civil rights movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others to change attitudes.
I got involved in the civil rights movement.
I got involved in desegregated movie theaters. They organized voter registration drives. From the time I got involved as a high school kid in the civil rights movement. But I was a kid involved in the civil rights movement, desegregating restaurants and movie theaters in my state. From the time I got involved as a kid in the civil rights movement. And I got involved in the civil rights movement just as a kid. And that's why I got so deeply involved in my community with the civil rights movement. For real, I got involved in the civil rights movement. Getting ready to go out and desegregate restaurants and movie theaters.
Quote, more than once, advisors had gently reminded Mr. Biden of the problem with this formulation.
he had not actually marched during the civil rights movement, and more than once, Mr. Biden assured them that he understood and kept telling the story anyway.
Because he know all the right words to say to the blacks to get them to the poll to vote for the Socialist Party called the Democrats. Isn't that amazing? And here's where Joe Biden sounds like Hillary Clinton. Watch this from X.
I don't feel no ways tired.
Yeah.
I've come too far
Praise
from
the
where
Lord.
I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy.
That's right.
I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
We've come too far from where we started. Nobody told me the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. My fellow Americans,
Look at the blacks. This is
I don't
happy.
think the good Lord brought us this far to leave us behind.
Look how they applaud all in the name. I don't believe it. He brought me this far. I don't believe it. He brought me this far to leave me now. Amazing. I feel no ways tar. And the black lady, praise the Lord. Hallelujah. You got my vote. This guy said he participated in the civil rights movement, right? Nobody remember it but Joe. And he got involved in everything, schools, the movie theater, and everything, and nobody knew about it. Come on, man. No, and Hillary Clinton feel no age turned. And the blacks applaud. All in the name of Jesus. Praise the Lord. This is from C-SPAN. At a campaign event at Mother's Emmanuel AME Church, Biden called out the nation's history of, quote unquote, white supremacy. This is from ABC.
I was talking downstairs. I've spent more time in the Bethel AME Church in Wilmington, Delaware than I have than most people I know, black or white, have spent in that church. Because that's where I started no, I'm serious. I started a civil rights movement. I used to go to 7:30 Mass, then I'd go to 10 o'clock service, but by a poison. Poison that's for too long haunted this nation. What is that poison? White supremacy. Oh, it is. It's a poison.
Oh, yeah, it's a poison. Poison ivy, poison ivy. It's a poison. White supremacy is a poison. Isn't Joe white? Or maybe he Catholic. You got my vote. We got to do something about white supremacy. You got my vote. I've been told he's Irish. And yes, Catholic. White supremacy. That's all I needed to hear. You got my vote, Joe. I'm going to show up at the Democratic booth and hit Democrat. White supremacy. How can I live in this country with that? White supremacy is so strong that you got white women showing up at a so-called dinner and they pay so some people, women, females of color can degrade them. That's white supremacy, all right. That's white supremacy, all right. You got my vote, Joe. If ever we needed the Great White Hope, we need him now. Let me see what he has to say today.
And then I tweeted, I have many millions between Facebook and Twitter. It's great. It's like owning a newspaper without the losses. It's incredible.
Amazing. If ever we needed the Great White Hope, we need him now. Donald Trump. And the last person they want, the last, back in the White House, is the Great White Hope. Because he's going to work for you and not against you. You'll hire him to do a job, and he's going to do the job. He's going to do the job. Last week, or maybe Monday of this week, I forgot, the Great White Hope cleaned up in the Iowa caucus on Monday. This is from Fox. Joy Reid responded to Trump's victory at the Iowa caucuses Monday by condemning white Christians who supports him. Watch this from MSNBC.
We must remark upon the absolute tragedy of Ron DeSantis.
This
man torched the state of Florida's education system by turning it into a grand apologist for slavery. These are white Christians. Iowa is about 61% white Christian. The country as a whole is approximately 41% white Christian. They see themselves as the rightful inheritors of this country, and Trump has promised to give it back to them. All the things that we think about electability, about, what are people gaming out, or none of that matters when you believe that God has given you this country, that it is yours, and that everyone who is not a white conservative Christian is a fraudulent American.
What's on a black female with white people hair? Is that what that is? It looked like it didn't even come all the way down on the head. Look like, are you sure that's not a hat? It didn't even come all the way down. She forgot to pull it down because you kind of see that nappy hair under there. Was that a Trump wig? What the? It looked like, I don't know now, but it looked like Joy Reid want to be Trump. She put on his hair. And just jealous of Christianity? What an evil female. The best religion on this side of heaven. And she's jealous because Satan is her daddy. And white people, they're going to call you names until you don't care anymore. When would that happen? Breitbart reported Joy Reid said Wednesday that she believes the voters who support Donald Trump have racial anxiety over demographic changes. So they want revenge. Do you blame them? She got that right. They're losing their country over a phony so-called race issue. And last but not, two more, then I'm done. ABC. I thought that women were supposed to be strong. A strong black woman. And I've told you over and over again, no such thing as a strong woman. It's just weak men. No such thing as strong woman. It doesn't exist, ain't gonna exist, can't exist. It's just that the men are weak. Breitbart reported that Joy Reid said Wednesday. I'm sorry. ABC is reporting Kamala Harris, whoever that is, stopped by on The View Wednesday to talk about the administration's message to voters and its goal as the 2024 election kicks off. Watch this from The View.
So, people are saying that Biden is too old. We hear it constantly. I've met him many times. He seems very robust. He told me he works out every day. I see him on television.
He ain't no robust.
I'm the same age, so I resent that remark. But besides that, the other side seems doddering to me. He's eating cheeseburgers. He's overweight. He's always in a golf cart. I mean, why is Biden getting the bad rap and not Trump? I don't get it.
Well, first of all, let me just address the issue directly, because I spend a lot of time with our president.
He did it.
Joe Biden, because of not only his knowledge, but his insistence on seeing things through.
What are you going to do to stop the crazies?
I am scared as heck.
A female. See, she's scared. I was just so scared. There's trouble in the land. And I was just so scared. Look how those females are sitting there just lying through their teeth. They're just lying. Just lying. Just lying. I told you hell come through the woman. The gates of hell is through the woman. But some people are waking up. They're like, what the? Some people are waking up. Watch this from TikTok.
At this point in the evening, the projected winner of the Iowa caucuses has just started giving his victory speech. We will let you know if there's any news made in that speech, if there's anything noteworthy, something substantive and important. The reason I'm saying this is, of course, there is a reason that we and other news organizations have generally stopped giving an unfiltered live platform to remarks by former President Trump. And so his remarks tonight will not air here live. We will monitor them.
So they will monitor it for us rather than just playing the speech, being a network that informs people and lets us hear from the winner. They decided that we're too stupid to hear it and make up our own minds about whether, the information is truthful or not. How is this different from certain countries who filter everything so that people don't get the information that's out there? How is this any different?
I rest my case. Another one smart female out there waking up to the lies. I think and she sounds like she's from a foreign country, when you come from foreign socialist communist countries, you kind of recognize when it's happening again. If ever we needed the great white hope, we need him now. Kamala Harris and all the people just sit there just lying to you. And like you're too dumb to know it. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Let me go to Michael out of Illinois. Michael, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse, how's it going, my man?
All is well, Michael.
All right. So, I wanted to call in because I recently made some forgiveness in life, right? I just wanted to share with you and your audience there that so last year sometime, I found faith. I started searching for God in my life and trying to make the right moves and going to church and hooping and hollering at church and volunteering at, food shelters or whatnot and trying to do things right. But within a year, I felt empty inside. I felt like I was missing something still. I felt like I was being phony. And it took me some time, but I realized that I needed to forgive, because I had anger inside. And the anger I had inside, I couldn't see it because the devil is a lie. Satan is telling me that it's true. This is who I am. I've been hurt my life, so I have the right to be angry, and I can never get over it. And you're right about, shaking in your boots when you go to forgive, about shaking in your boots.
Yes.
Because, man, I was scared, man. I was scared.
Of who? Your mother?
I was thinking, well, she dead. My mom dead.
Who were you afraid of?
My father, my brother, and my daughter's mother.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my mom, she dead, so I forgave her.
She dead.
Within the heart. She dead. So I forgave her, because little did I know when I was younger, she turned us away from our father because she was like she made my dad like a beta male. So growing up, I didn't have a real man to look up to, and it was my mom's fault. So growing up, I developed a hate towards my dad because of my mom, and I became like my mom, beta.
Yeah.
And, I had a kid out of wedlock when I was like 19, sexing, slut maker and all that, doing drugs and drinking. And so basically I forgave my mother. And then when it came to my father, man, I was shaking in my boots. My dad's Puerto Rican, so he's a little slow. He's not the smartest guy, I was thinking, man, he's not going to understand what I'm saying. He's going to think I'm full of crap, So I called him and I was like, man, you know what? I'm shaking in my boots. I was like, even if he doesn't accept it, it's fine. As long as I forgive him, that's all that matters.
Right.
So I called him. I let him know, man, the devil is a lie, man. The devil was telling me he was going to be confused. Man, my dad knew exactly what I was talking about. He knew exactly the way I put it. He understood 100%. He told me he forgave me. He told me all these things. And
hold on, Michael. Hold that thought. Let me take a quick break, but I'll come right back to you. Let me take a quick break. Back in a moment. Check out my book, For Raised to Responsibility. I show you how I was able to overcome anger. The spirit of anger was taken away from me. I had it. And as a result of having anger, I was insecure. I had doubt, worry, fear. I was in a fallen state and didn't know it. And it wasn't until I went and forgave my mother, who tried to turn me away from my father. I forgave my father for not being there and returned back to him. My spirit connected with his spirit, and through him, I was able to return to God. And I have perfect peace. Perfect love casts out anger. And when anger is gone, fear and doubt, worry, insecurity, suicidal thoughts, all of that is gone. And you are free. Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or if you want an autographed copy, you can go to my website at rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-BOND. Amazing. Busy day today. The Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. The Hake report.com. And then at 12 noon, brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. The FallenState.tv. An amazing conversation with Larry Elder. Oh, by the way, the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. The treasure chest on D-Live. Amazing conversation with Larry. Larry ran for governor of California, president of the United States. He is a best-selling author, award-winning documentary film. Alcantara 1 and 2, he produced those films. And one of the best-known media figures in America today. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
The sage of South Central Los Angeles, Larry Elder.
The LA Times called me the black face of white supremacy.
I was going to ask you that.
I worked hard for that title.
Yeah.
I've been called an Uncle Tom, bootlicking Uncle Tom, foot shuffling, bootlicking Uncle Tom. The thing I've rarely been called is wrong.
And so a lot of guys don't know how to deal with women today.
I'm not sure you're asking the right guy, because I've never had a problem.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem.
Right.
No matter what your circumstances are, pick up your cards and you deal them to the best of your ability. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Amazing. TheFallenState.tv at 12 noon today. Support the Fallen State, all right? Go to TheFallenState.tv or locals.com. And then at 4 p.m., the American Anchor, baby. At 4 p.m. today, Pacific time. Flying high. You don't have to worry about crashing with the American Anchor, baby. He ain't black. And he is qualified. And then Sunday morning, Church for All. Sunday morning, Church for All. Doors open at 10:30. The meeting starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com. And thank you all for your support of the church. Tithing offerings, I appreciate it. We got a lot of work to do, and a lot of people realize, I'm getting help. Let me help this man help others. I don't have to ask you. You already know. Yes. All right? You already know, so thank you in advance. Thank you. What else? And for personal shout-outs, go to Rebuilding the Man. Go to Cameo. Birthday shout-out, wedding shout-out, whatever, funeral shout-outs, encouragements. Go to rebuildingtheman.com. Check out all my books. I've been talking about them. I want to get back to the phones, and then I want to do some super chats. We're going to get as many calls as possible in the time that we have left. I was talking to Michael from Illinois, and Michael, you went and forgave your father. You thought that you were scared doing it. You thought it was going to turn out one way, but it turned out amazingly.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So the devil was lying to me, making me afraid to do it. That's why I was holding off. And so when I finally did it, shaking in my boots, and I didn't think he was going to understand, but he understand completely. And man, what a relief! You know what I mean? Like it felt good. It felt like not good in the taking pride kind of way, but it felt like a relief of like, man.
Yes.
The devil lied to me this whole time. And then the same thing with my brother. I grew up close to my brother, and he's a very negative person. We got raised by the same parents, and we grew up real negative, and we're really nasty to each other, And I'm almost 40, he's 40, and he lives out in Georgia. And so I was like, you know what? Let me forgive him too, because I held a lot against him,
Yeah.
And he wasn't there for me a lot, So same thing with him. I was shaking in my boots like, man, I haven't talked to him for a few months. He's probably going to tell me, I'm full of crap, or you think you're better than me, or this and that. It was all negative thoughts of what I thought his response was going to be, because I thought I knew him. I think I know how he's going to react, But that was all Satan, Satan
all
was my
thoughts
daddy.
are all lies all the time about anything.
Absolutely, man. All that crap I was in my head, it was all fake. And when I called him, I just said, hey, can I talk to you? He said, yeah. Well, right when I started telling him how I forgave him and this and that, man, can you believe it? This man started crying on the phone, talking about he loved me, he missed me, this and that. I was like, what the heck is going on?
What
is this my brother? Who is this? Man, it was crazy. And I felt that relief, like pressure released off of me. I was like, wow. All right, this is good. And then I same thing with my daughter's mother. I'm not with her. I just had a kid with her like 18 years ago. And she always, I was a beta male, so she always held my daughter above me. She knew I loved my daughter, so she would always use that against me.
Yeah.
For all the wrong reasons. But anyways, So I had a lot of grudge against her. I hated this woman, you know? So, I mean, I still take care of my daughter, but I hate her mom. I can't deal with her, you know? She's like the devil, and I'm like the beta male who looks up to the devil, you know? As my God. So same thing, I had to forgive her, and I thought the same thing. She was going to shut me down, hang up the phone on me. Same thing. She started crying. She was like, well, I'm so happy. You know, she was saying all positive things. I thought it was going to be a negative, but it was, you know, the devil lied to me, Jesse. So
amazing. How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 38.
Right on. Hey, Michael.
Yeah, I called you before, but I'm not going to ask you if you remember because I know you black. He black.
Never ask a black man if he remembers.
Yeah, hey, Jesse, I'll let you go. But,
okay.
Just one more thing. You know, I'm a big fan of the Great White Hope, right? The wall going up. I love
the wall going up.
And, hey, that lady, Joy Reid, man, it looked like she had a Donald Trump wig on. What the heck? What the?
How amazing.
But hey, real quick, what's your opinion on that Allahu Akbar dude, that Vivek Pastrami? What's your take on this guy?
I think that he's young and trying to find his way, and maybe at some point he will continue to mature. And who knows, maybe he will turn out to help the country in some kind of way. I'm not for foreigners being involved in my government. I don't think foreigners should be involved in American government.
Yeah, I mean, I liked his. You know, he's young. I liked his ideas.
Yeah.
Some of his ideas, and the fact that you know, he spoke up and he wasn't afraid to say what it
right.
is. So I did like that. You know, I'll continue to watch him grow.
Yeah.
He's the same age as me, so
right.
it's good to see. And I like it that he's not a career politician like this Sleepy Joe and all those people that have been there for so damn long and they don't do anything.
And that female that's running too. What's her name?
Yeah, the corrupt one, the rhino.
No, Nikki Haley. Yeah, the rhino.
Yeah, Haley.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. I got to run, buddy, because of time. Thank you for your call.
No problem, man. Hey, love you, Jesse, man.
You too, buddy. Stay with us, stay with us, stay with it, all right?
Yes, sir. God bless you.
You too. Amazing. There's a line, 888-775-3773. Colandra out of Tennessee. Colandra, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning.
How you?
I'm good. How you doing, Jesse?
No woman is good. All is well.
All is well. What's wrong with the blacks, Jesse?
What's wrong with the blacks?
What's wrong with them? Because I just be thinking, you know, what is it? Because lately I just been seeing and kind of observing a lot of stuff that, you know, black people do.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's like truly annoying and it's unnecessary. And like, you know, the money, it's like everything is a joke. Everything is money.
Yep.
And that's where they losing value.
What a mess.
It's a whole mess out here. It's a whole mess out here. But I'm not going to hold you long because I know it's like 10:40 where I'm at, and normally go off at 11.
Yeah.
And so I just want to ask you a question, and advice, if I can.
Okay.
I'm going to do it really quick. Okay, so I've been doing the silent prayer morning and night. Yay.
Amazing.
Amazing. And I'm reason why I say yeah, because I'm proud of myself because I've been seeing myself, I've been doing a lot better lately. And you know, about that. But lately I also been seeing where the thoughts, you know, I'm more aware of the thoughts, you know, like a thought will come and I'd be like, oh, okay, that's not me. So I've been a lot aware of the thoughts and stuff. And it seems like they're supposed to get more strong or they're supposed to loosen up?
If you stay aware of them, watch them day and night, pray without ceasing, right? They will get weaker. They will become weaker and weaker and weaker. And then at some point, they will have to leave your mind, your body, and go make a home in another human being.
Right. Okay.
So they will get weaker and they will have to depart because the light is shining on them, which is the light of God, the true love is shining on them, and the darkness cannot handle the light.
Yeah, because I noticed I've been, you know, I don't know why, a little emotional lately here, but I know it's you made it right. Right. And I was like, no, I'm supposed to be emotional. Like, I don't want to do this. And I was just like, maybe this is something that I have to go through for right now. But let's just call Uncle
absolutely.
Jesse. Okay, so it is?
Yeah, let it happen. Don't try to.
Okay.
Let go and let whatever happens. And you'll be fine. You can't control life. Life is not created to be controlled. Life is created to let happen. So let go. If you cry, cry. Let it pass. Whatever, right? But you keep watching the thoughts, the so-called good ones and the bad one, and don't identify with either one.
Nothing.
You shall be made whole. You become one.
And I believe that. I appreciate it.
So stay with it. You're welcome.
And I sure will.
And it's good to hear from you.
Huh?
It's good to hear from you.
Oh, yeah, it's good to hear from you, too. But you know what? It's a thing that me and my kids, what I plan to do, hopefully I won't have surgery here come March. I plan to come visit you in March during spring break.
Amazing.
Yes. So I was like, I have to get there. The kids like, can we come? I was like, no. I was like, no, this is my time. Like, maybe the summer we'll come back. You know, the kids could come, but I just think this time is just for Mama right now to get over Mama. You see what I'm saying?
That's right. It'll be good to see you.
Yes, be more present in everything.
Right on.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you, Kalani.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I know I had one more thing, but is it okay or should I just wait?
Real fast.
Okay, real fast. Okay, being that I've been doing good and me and the kids, we've been doing the silent prayer and everything. Everything just been good.
Yeah.
You know, but it just seemed like the kid's dad, he's been declining. And he's been doing like a lot of drinking. God bless his soul. I don't resent him or anything like that. But it's come to the point now to where, and we're no longer together. He lived with his girlfriend. You know, it's just me and the kids, and I am, you know, content. But it's like he continued to drink, and he's been having the kids. Like I think this is his second DUI that he just got a couple of days ago, a couple of nights ago.
And your question for real fast is what?
Yes. Okay. Should I, you know, kind of like just take the kids away from him until he get himself together? I'm like the type of mother, like, look, you can't keep your kids, but if you're getting DUIs and you're getting in car wrecks and stuff, it's like I'm being passive about it in a sense.
Well, let me say
but
this:
I also know that I'm not in control.
If you don't see clearly what to do, don't do anything. But just don't resent him because he has issues. That's why he's doing it. He has not overcome it. But don't judge him so you can see clearly what to do.
Right.
It'll be made clear.
Yes. And you know what? I don't wish no bad on him. I wish well and everything.
Yeah.
And people like, you wish him well? I was like, yeah, because I know.
That's right.
My life is, you know, if I resent him, I'm going back to hell. You know, I'm going back to hell, and I'm trying to get out. So I don't want that no longer.
The one thing we don't have a right to do, and we'll suffer as a result of doing it, we cannot be angry at our fellow human beings. We can't be angry at them. You will suffer.
Yes, because the Bible says, you know, even though it's not Bible Thursday, the Bible said we don't, you know, fight against, you know, the flesh and blood.
Absolutely.
You know, but spirit and principality.
I gotta run though, Calandra.
I know.
Call me again though.
I sure will, and I will, you know, I'm trying to make that in March.
Okay.
So, look, we're going to have to plan a day out or something, okay?
Absolutely. What the?
All right.
Now that what's her name is cheating on me, I might well.
Yes. Yep.
She cheating on me, so I might well.
She fired.
Come on, man.
Come on. We going to get it, Jesse.
That's right.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Calandra. Thank you.
Thank you. And have a good day, Jesse and the crew.
You too. Oh, amazing. Super chat. Super.
Terry Strange bought a coffee. I'm afraid to negotiate. Answer to the biblical question.
Why are you afraid of negotiating?
Because it may require compromise, and I'm used to doing things my own way.
Amazing. I'll respond on Sunday. Thank you.
Yeah, easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. John bought you 3 coffees. Jesse, why would I not ask my parents for their forgiveness for resenting them rather than apologizing? What would the not asking be? Would not the asking be greater than apologizing? Yes, they live in their hell, though Jesus taught us to go beyond the call to action, i.e. love your enemies. Thank you.
Because it's not in the nature of human beings to forgive when you ask, but it's in you to admit that you're wrong for resenting them. And that's what forgiveness. I'm wrong. I'm playing God. I've been judging you, and I'm wrong for that. And then God will forgive you. Nowhere does he tell you to go and ask any human being for forgiveness, but he does tell you to go and forgive, and I will forgive you, thus said the Lord. Thank you.
Also on Buy Me a Coffee, Mr. Pink buying a coffee for answering the biblical question.
Why are you afraid of negotiating?
Axe emoji.
Ask.
I would say I'm afraid of negotiating because of my unwillingness to accept that I could be wrong. Not all, but most people have their minds made up before they even begin speaking to you, so this causes people to hide their thoughts and never speak out in fear that someone may reprove them and cause them to change their mind. Luke 17:3, take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke him, and if he repent, forgive him.
Amazing. Thank you. Amazing.
White Lion NYC bought a coffee, asking about another show. Email the producer, buddy.
Producer at JessieLeePeterson.com. Whatever your suggestions are, stuff like that, send a request to producer at JessieLeePeterson.com.
JV the Great bought 3 coffees. These are just super chats, guys. They're not actual coffees. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. I agree with Jesse somewhat. I'd phrase it like black people are leading the influence of destruction, or asterisks to emphasize it, in this country, alongside white liberals, whether it's influencing whites, blacks, or whomever they are in key positions.
I understand that.
Because you say blacks are leading the way to destruction?
They are.
He's saying they're leading the influence of destruction.
What race? What that mean?
They are influencing other people to be destructive.
As they are?
I guess so.
I don't quite understand. Make it clear. Thank you.
Shout out to the top contributors yesterday. WD-41, Monday Night, Blank Post, Coffee Talk with Sandra, Kid Combo 1.0, and the rest. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Amazing Asia. Dear Jesse, my husband won't watch the Color Purple movie with me, even though I watch all his favorite childhood movies with him. He's saying I'm trying to control him. That's not what I'm doing, right? I just want to bond with him and watch as adults.
But a show is not going to make you bond. What the? Leave the man alone. That's not the way to bond. All right? Thank you.
White Lion NYC bought 3 coffees. Hey, Jesse, do you know MAGA is the highest degree in the Church of Satan?
Right on.
Whoa. Jesse, you're the great black hope, heard by everyone in the world and they mama.
Everybody, if you're white, everyone and their mother. If you're black, everybody and they mama.
Hey,
thank you.
Hey, Jesse, can I get a what's wrong with the Jews?
What's wrong with the Jews?
I disavow the Jews, he says, with a 4th coffee.
I disavow.
With number 5, hey Jesse, I really like the part of the show when you let people know how to listen to the show wherever you are. You could be feeding your boyfriend's baby some batteries, spinning lean at the golf course, getting beat up by your wife, crying when you speak of Jesus, whatever you're doing. You can listen to the show.
Dragging your baby on a dog leash. Thank you.
Gregatron, hey Jesse, you know how the Great White Hope has his own social media called Truth Social?
Yes.
Well, I call your little network Truth Network.
Thank you. Amazing. I like that.
Josh from Georgia with a biblical question answer.
Georgia on my mind. Why are you afraid of negotiating?
All human interaction can only result in either a dictatorship, slavery, or negotiation. The demon in me grows stronger when I'm either a dictator to others or I'm being a slave to others. But the demon in me is horrified of me negotiating fairly with others because it can't live off that and will ultimately be forced to leave my body. So the demon deceptively puts thoughts in my head trying to make me fearful of negotiating with others because the demon lives off of me hating others. And if I'm unconscious, I'll believe these thoughts and be scared to negotiate.
So they're afraid to negotiate because of the demons?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Thank you.
A couple more coffees from White Line NYC. I have both rage and responsibility.
Nice.
Reference to JLP's book.
My book, From Rage to Responsibility. Amazing book. Check it out. Go to WeBuildingAman.com or call 800-411-BOND. And yes, I'll sign it.
He also says Hassan always sound like he been smoking some pot.
Stay off the pot.
But he spells it P-A-W-T. Maybe he means like dog paw. And he spells it with one S, so he might not be talking about our Hassan.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
I've never smoked on the pot.
Nice. So eat that. White Line NYC. Me too. Soul Conscious 5 coffees. Jesse, I was watching a Christian documentary last night. Not one time did they mention forgiveness and a change of heart. All they said was to do was surrender to Christ, quote unquote. What does that even mean?
Just words with no meaning. That's all. Thank you.
Asia bought a coffee. Not to be confused with Amazing Asia. Different Asia. Good morning, Jesse Peters, Mr. Peterson and crew. I would like to answer the biblical question.
Why are you afraid of negotiating?
I'm not afraid of negotiating because I don't desire to do so. To negotiate is to want. I do not want anything from people, the world, myself, or God. Plus, if you negotiate, you will have to give something in return. God doesn't ask us to negotiate with him. He tells us what we need to do, and if you don't, you'll stay in your hell. Now I think about it, it is beta to negotiate. Is it beta to negotiate? Is that a sign of a weak person? She black. Emoji, mind-blown emoji.
I'll respond to that on Sunday. We had an amazing women's forum last night, and everybody and their mama showed up. These women are working on themselves. Everybody in there. It was amazing. Thank you.
RK bought 3 coffees. How to know if I'm led by God?
By not knowing. Don't think about it. Amazing. And let completely go and don't think about it. It'll be amazing. Thank you.
888-77 Jesse bought a coffee. Were the founding fathers participating in evil by fighting against the British for sovereignty of America?
No.
Thank you for your coffee.
I'm glad that they did that. What now?
Scrappy Creek, 10 coffees. Life without God is a Tetris puzzle. Living in the moment, letting God lead the way. Straight vertical lines every day. Thank you, JLP and crew.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. You're welcome.
There are tons of super chats left. Gen C, 5 coffees being silly this Friday. Question for White Lion NYC. Is that a reference to the 80s hair band White Lion, who were from NYC? If so, wait, tell me. If so, White Lion will get that last part. Have a great weekend, JLP Universe. Always looking to reward to fellowship on Sunday.
Right on. Thank you. Thank you all for your super chats and your support. I appreciate it. I am so out of time. Monday morning, if the Lord is willing, make sure we start out finishing those super chats.
All righty.
All right. The Hake Report is coming up now. And then a new Father's Day today at 12. And at 4 p.m., the American Anchor Baby. Get on that straight and narrow path and stay there. No matter what. Do the silent prayer. Forgive your mama and or grandmother and your father. And this is for all, including the blacks. You gotta forgive in order to be free. I'll see you on Sunday at 11 a.m. at rebuildingtheman.com/church or at the building. Come on down for everyone. All right, thank you all to the callers. Sean from Florida, Rick from, hey Rick, I'm sorry I didn't get to you, Rick. Andy Lowe? Is that, huh? What? Yellow from Italy. Ooh, nice. Vicky from Texas. Hey, Vicky. Better known as Victoria, but now it's Vicky. Back to her real name. Jerry, a first-time call out of Los Angeles. I am so out of time, but if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, I'll be back tomorrow. Hey, Billy, the engineer is here. How you, engineer? Nice. Amazing. He said fine. He said fine. Have a good weekend, folks. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And there, when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself, or how much you have or don't have, or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing.
Who's getting called? Well, thank you, Jesse Lee Peterson, for an excellent Jesse Lee Peterson show. Gonna end this stream and start up Hake. Nice. Nice.